Coach Seth with Zeus Fitness here. I did it again, guys. Well, yes, I have an amazing mustache now because I felt like shaving off the beard. But I just took that whole video. This is my second video I'm doing of this now. Half my head was cut off again. Your boy's not good at this stuff yet, but I'm gonna be. Anyways, what we're talking about today is one of friends of mine from the army place that I was in, been there, hit me up and he said, hey man, you should talk about dieting. And like I said in all of my social media platform stuff, that I even wrote notes, people. We're going to dive into this shit, that's for sure. But before we do so, subscribe. Subscribe, people. Thanks. If you like these videos, you're going to want to subscribe. Okay? Anyways, I'm a little hyped up on coffee right now. Sorry. But before I start rambling off again of my opinion, I am not a registered dietitian, nor am I a doctor. Am I prescribing you guys anything during this video? And no, other than going to be healthy human beings, right? This is all based off of my personal experience in the fitness world, one. Two, and what I learned in college getting my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. You've heard it before if you've seen it in my videos, right? Now to really start. First fact, other than my mustache is awesome. 2/3 of the US population is overweight. It's okay, I'll let that sink in. 2/3, people. And what we've gotten fixated on in America and really all over the world, I was just using us, fat people, as example, is the quick fix. Oh, what can I take? What crash diet can I do? Right? Shit pisses me off. Just like when I was talking about in my other video, again, if you haven't seen it, go look, about women in weightlifting. Really grinds my gears, people. Because this whole, oh, I'm gonna fix your diet in 21 days. Or I'm gonna get you fit in 30 days. It's all bullshit, guys. Okay, yeah, you'll lose weight. Don't get me wrong. You go do a 30-day fix with whoever, these people putting out all kinds of craziness nowadays, you'll lose weight. Notice I said weight, not fat. Two different ball games here. Your body mainly consists of water. So it fluctuates, literally can fluctuate overnight depending on how big you are, up to like 8 or 10 pounds. Okay? To lose fat, there's a lot more that goes into it, all right? You cannot just say, hey, I'm gonna starve myself and hopefully I'm just gonna stay this skinny for the rest of my life. Doesn't work like that, people. Anyways, the quick fix in nowadays is, again, obnoxious. And that's kind of why I'm starting this video on where we're starting. He asked me, the guy that did this, we were talking about it, and I don't believe in diets. I don't. I believe in lifestyle changes. That's what I tell people to do. Change your lifestyle. Get what's best for you. Do that. Oh, well, can I do it without exercise? No. Hardly anybody can just, hey, I'm going to be on this really, really good diet and I'm going to be healthy. Human beings, which if you're watching this, you probably one of them, maybe, are not meant to be sedentary. We're moving, have to be active people. Back in the day, believe it or not, according to one of my college books when we were reading last semester, we used to do an average 15,000 steps a day. 15,000. You know what the average is now? 3,000 to 4,000. 15,000, 4,000. That's a big difference. We're not burning nearly as many calories as we used to, okay? In a day, that is, right? Now we're just doing what I do and sit at home all day and write people programs. We ain't doing any real work. That's a lie. Coach Seth's always in the gym. Anyways, lifestyle changes. Well, how do I change my lifestyle? How am I supposed to do it? Well, what I usually recommend to people is the 40-30-30. Do I think calories in, calories out theory is correct? Partially. There's other stuff that we'll talk about towards the end of the video of where I've read in some books that it's kind of there, but there's also another factor, and I'll give you that factor in a bit. Stay tuned. Okay. 40-30-30. Let's talk about that first. 40-30-30 is something that I learned when I used to work at Max Kane Health and Fitness. Shout out to Jeremy for teaching me this. 40% protein, 30% fat, 30% carb. Essentially, when you break down each meal that you eat a day, so you want 40% of your calories coming from protein, 30% from fat, yada, yada, yada. Makes sense so far? What that does is keep, 1, your metabolic rate, 2, your insulin levels, ding, 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 at a consistent level throughout the day. That is going to help you maintain a healthy lifestyle. Also, if you're in a caloric deficit, eating well-rounded meals and exercising, you're going to lose weight. And not just weight in general, fat. Because your body's going to be like, I got to get rid of some of this stuff. Boom. Gone. Bye, fat. With exercise, people, you got to work for it. There's not a pill out there that's just going to make you freaking huge with a bunch of muscle and no fat. Anyways, so what I mean by that and being in a healthy caloric deficit, right? A lot of people out there want to go from, we'll use 3,500 calories Joe down the street is eating, right? That's what his normal daily intake is. And he said, well, I need to lose weight, so I'm going to drop down to 2,500 calories. Well, again, he'll lose weight, but there's this thing called, handy dandy notebook, the metabolic adaptation to weight loss. Something, again, we learned in college, all we smart people, right? And essentially what that means is that your body, 1, is always fighting for homeostasis, right? So when you drop the calories from what you're intaking originally to 2,500 from 3,500, it shocks your system for a little bit, but eventually your body's going to figure it out because your body's smart. Your body's amazing. It still amazes me to this day. It's going to figure it out and then start working off of that caloric intake that you're putting in now at 2,500. And then you're going to gain all your weight back. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Really? So why does everybody that go on a crash diet, you see them, wow, Joe looks great. Have you seen him? What he's doing? And then a month later, Joe's got his gut back. Joe's got his man boobs back. Wonder why that is. It's exactly what I just said. Your metabolic adaptation to weight loss. So to do it in a healthy way, we'll use 3,000 calories this time. Easy math. If I am taking 3,000 calories a day and I'm trying to lose weight with exercise included, you need to drop it down to 2,800. Small increment, itty bitty, to start. Then you work from there. I'm going to go from 28 to 26, 26 to 24, however far you want to go, but you have to do that over time. And over time, with exercise, you will not only lose weight and the numbers on the scale, which lie most of the time, you will also start losing fat. And if you're exercising properly with your resistance training, at least 3 days a week, getting your 150 minutes of moderate intensity cardio in, yada, 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 all the jargon that we use, okay, you're probably going to build muscle mass, and more muscle burns more calories, therefore burns more fat. Huh! Crazy how that works. We following so far? So that's the healthy way to do it. Diet and exercise. Well, we'll say lifestyle and exercise, because I don't like the word diet. It makes me cringe. Don't like it. Healthy caloric deficit. Next point. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, again, that I mentioned about halfway through the video, was the other factor, and I slightly dropped, you may have caught it on the way here, is insulin. So one of my favorite guys that I like referring to and all that stuff is Jason Fung. He wrote this book and a couple other books. This one's called The Obesity Code. He's a medical doctor that specializes in, he's a kidney specialist essentially. And right now he's more focused on type 2 diabetics and how to get them better without using drugs. Instead, he uses intermittent fasting with controlling their insulin levels. Now, I can get into the whole intermittent fasting thing if you guys want me to. If you're interested in learning about that, leave a comment, let me know. And subscribe while you're at it. Anyways, what he talks about in this, and also what Gary Tubis, that's what I call him, I can't pronounce his last name, in the book Why We Get Fat, is about your insulin levels and how people, even though they're in a caloric deficit, they're still not losing weight and even gaining weight in some cases because of what they're eating, not how much they're eating. I'm gonna read something from this book here. We get fat because of the carbohydrates in our diet make us fat. The science tells us that the obesity is ultimately the result of a hormone imbalance, not a caloric one. Carbohydrates is driving insulin, is driving fat. He's smarter than me and he's saying that. And again, it makes sense to me, so I agree with him. Makes sense that when you escalate and skyrocket your insulin levels and then you have them drop right after that, your body freaks out. Okay, like we talked about earlier, your body is always striving for homeostasis, so it's going to do whatever it takes to get to that point, right? What he's talking about that happens is that people that are even in a caloric deficit, that are eating, well, I'm burning 3,000 calories a day, but I'm only eating 2,600. Okay, well, what foods are you eating? Well, I had some cereal this morning with a bagel, cream cheese on top, and a sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, and all this other blah, blah, blah. We'll go on from that. You get what I'm saying. What that person is doing is he's eating that cereal. Insulin comes from here, goes straight up. About 30 minutes later, he goes straight down until he eats his next high carb meal. And then he goes back up. And you do this all day. And your body and your insulin level is like, what the hell is going on? I'm not supposed to be doing this. Which brings back full circle what I was talking about earlier in the 40-30-30. Eating balanced meals consistently throughout the day. That's the way to fight that. Keep your metabolic rate steadily high. After you've worked out, you're feeling good, you're eating healthy meals. There you go. So to wrap things up, do I believe in dieting? No, unless you're a bodybuilder, like I talked about beforehand. Do I think it's a good idea? No. Make a lifestyle change. Find out what works for you. Well, does that mean I can't go out and drink with my friends? No, I'm not saying you can't do that. Should you be doing that every weekend? No, because that's just not good for you in general. And we can get into my alcohol rant another time too if you guys want to hear about it. That's very interesting. Find out what works for you every other weekend. Eating balanced meals for 2 weeks straight, going to the gym, and then you go out one night, have a couple beers with the boys, you're fine. It's not going to kill you. That can be your cheat day. Make sure you hit the gym in the morning though, so your metabolism's elevated. Find out what works for you. Eat healthy. Don't choke on your own saliva like I'm doing. And keep your insulin levels steady, okay? that's all I'm going to talk about for now. Again, guys, if you like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. If you like the mustache, leave a mustache emoji. As always, subscribe, stay safe, and me and the handy dandy notebook will see you guys next time when we talk about something else.